You have kept count on my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Psalm 56:8. I kept swallowing the pain, buried grief so deep inside. But Jesus found the tears that I forgot how to cry.
Learned early that emotions were a sign of being weak, so I buried every feeling, trained myself to never speak about the hurt that lit inside me. Trauma I couldn't name, just pushed it down and kept it moving, acting like I'm trained. Couldn't cry at funerals, couldn't break when things are hard. Built this armor so thick that I forgot I had a heart. People thought I was so strong, so I'm bothered by the pain, but really I was disconnected, lost inside my brain. And Jesus came and touched the place where I stored all the grief, the reservoir of tears I held and never found release. He didn't force me to break down and shame me for my walls, just gently showed me it was safe to let the armor fall. Started crying in his presence over things from years ago, pain I didn't know I carried, finally getting room to flow. He found the tears that I've forgotten, locked in chambers of my soul, and gave me permission to feel everything and still be whole. I didn't know how to grieve, didn't know how to mourn, but he found the pain I buried and helped me be reborn. Jesus found the tears I didn't know how to cry, unlocked the grief I swallowed trying to survive. When I forgot how to feel, when numbness was my shield, he gave me back my heart and taught me how to heal. Jesus found the tears I didn't know how to cry, helped me while I broke for all the pain I kept inside. Now I'm learning it's okay to not be strong all the time, cause he's my strength when I can finally let myself unwind. See, toxic masculinity taught me tears are for the weak, that real strength is suppression, never let emotion speak. But Jesus wept in Lazarus' tomb, though we knew the end. Show me that feeling deeply is what makes us fully human. I was taught to be a rock, never crack under the weight, but even rocks are roll with pressure that they can't deflate. Jesus showed me there's power in vulnerability and truth, that holding pain inside will slowly steal away your youth. So I started letting myself feel what I suppressed for years. Cry for losses I never mourned, shed long overdue tears for the childhood I didn't have, the father who wasn't there, for every disappointment that I acted like I didn't care. And Jesus held the space for every tear that finally fell. Didn't rush my process to tell me I should be well, just let me grieve in his presence till the healing could begin. Now I know that crying isn't weakness, it's how freedom gets in. I didn't know how to grieve, didn't know how to mourn, but he found the pain I buried and helped me be reborn. Jesus found the tears I didn't know how to cry, unlocked the grief I swallowed trying to survive. When I forgot how to feel, when numbness was my shield, he gave me back my heart and taught me how to heal. Jesus found the tears I didn't know how to cry, helped me while I broke for all the pain I kept inside. Now I'm learning it's okay to not be strong all the time, cause he's my strength when I can finally let myself unwind. It's okay to cry, it's okay to break, Jesus holds the pieces while you heal for heaven's sake. Stop swallowing your pain like it's gonna make you stronger. Stop pretending you're okay when you can't hold on much longer. Jesus gives you permission to feel everything inside, to grieve, to cry, to break down without having to hide. Matthew 5:4 says, blessed are those who mourn, cause comfort's on the way when grief is finally born. Out of hiding in the healing, that's the path he's paving. So cry those tears you've held, that's how souls start saving. Jesus found the tears I didn't know how to cry, unlocked the grief I swallowed trying to survive. When I forgot how to feel, when numbness was my shield, he gave me back my heart and taught me how to heal. Jesus found the tears I didn't know how to cry, helped me while I broke for all the pain I kept inside. Now I'm learning it's okay to not be strong all the time, cause he's my strength when I can finally let it out. He found my tears, he held my pain, he healed my heart, he freed my soul. Jesus wept, John 11:35, if God can cry, then so can you. Your tears are holy water, washing Cain into something new. He found the tears you didn't know you had, and held you while you cried, until the hurt wasn't so bad.
He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, quiet, be still. Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. Mark 4:39. The chaos was my doing, every wave, every wind. But Jesus stepped into my mess and calmed what I began.
I can't blame the devil for the storm I'm standing in. This tempest came from my choices, my decisions, my sin. I made the bed, I'm lying in, I lit the match that burn. Created my own hurricane, I'm facing what I earned. Bad relationships I forced, opportunities I wasted. Bridges that I burned, myself connections I erased quick. Financial holes I dug alone through reckless spending habits. Now I'm drowning in the consequences, feeling number tragic. But Jesus didn't stand on shore and say you made your bed. He walked into the water where my foolish choices led. Spoke peace into the chaos that I manufactured whole. Said be still the ways I created, restore my sinking soul. He didn't justify my actions or pretend I wasn't wrong. Just offer grace right in the middle of the mess I drawn. That's the gospel, not a God who waits till we get it right, but one who enters some storms and turns our darkness into light. I made this mess myself, can't blame nobody else. But Jesus came and spoke the peace my soul had lost. He spoke peace into the storm I created myself. Didn't wait for me to fix it, didn't leave me on the shelf. Went away from my own making and the wind was for my sin. He stepped into my chaos and brought calm again. He spoke peace into the storm I created myself. Grace that meets me in the middle of decisions that I felt were gonna drown me in, and consequences pull me under deep. But Jesus calmed the water and gave my soul relief. Accountability and grace can both exist at once. I own my wrong decisions while receiving love in abundance. Jesus doesn't co-sign sin, but he doesn't abandon either. Meet you in your self-made mess and becomes your true redeemer. Romans 5:8 says while we were sinners, Christ died. Not after we cleaned up, but in the midst of our pride. So when I'm standing in a storm that bears my fingerprints, he still extends his hand and pulls me from the turbulence. Now I'm learning from my mistakes, letting wisdom reshape me. Not repeating foolish patterns that once tried to break me. Jesus gave me second chances I didn't deserve to get. Now I'm walking in his mercy, living with no regret. His grace doesn't mean no consequences, but it means you're not alone. And facing what you cause, his presence is your cornerstone. He rebuilds what we destroy through our rebellion and our pride. That's the power of the gospel, restoration from inside. I made this mess myself, can't blame nobody else. But Jesus came and spoke the peace my soul had lost. He spoke into the storm I created myself. Didn't wait for me to fix it, didn't leave me on the shelf. Went away from my own making and the wind was from my sin. He stepped into my chaos and brought calm again. He spoke peace into the storm I created myself. Grace that meets me in the middle of decisions that I felt were gonna drown me in, the consequences pull me under deep. But Jesus calmed the water and gave my soul relief. When you're drowning in your choices, when you cause your own distress, he still steps into the water and speaks peace into your mess. Don't let shame keep you from crying out for help today. Your self-made storm doesn't disqualify you from his grace. He specializes in redemption and turning wrongs to right, and speaking calm to chaos that we brought into the light. On your choices, face the truth, but don't refuse his hand. He's not waiting for perfection to help you understand that mercy triumphs over judgment every single time. His peace is available right now in the storm that's yours and mine. He spoke into the storm I created myself. Didn't wait for me to fix it, didn't leave me on the shelf. Went away from my own making and the wind was from my sin. He stepped into my chaos and brought calm again. He spoke peace into the storm I created myself. Grace that meets me in the middle of decisions that I felt were gonna drown me in, the consequences pull me under deep. But Jesus calmed the water and gave my soul relief.
The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. My prayers went silent, my faith grew dim, but his love kept shouting when I couldn't speak for him.
Had seasons where my faith felt like a dying ember. Couldn't muster up the strength to pray or remember why I believe what I stood for, who I claim to serve. Spiritually exhausted, running on no reserve. The Bible said on open, gathering dust on the shelf. Worship songs felt empty, I was disconnected from myself. Doubts were getting louder than the certainty I had. Faith that once felt vibrant now just made me sad. But in my weakest moment when my faith went completely mute, God's love started screaming truth that I couldn't dispute. Didn't need my strong confession or my theological stance. His love kept fighting for me when I couldn't take a chance. He carried me through seasons where I barely held a rope, where my faith was just a whisper, but his love became my hope. Reminded me that grace ain't earned by how loud we can proclaim. Sometimes the quietest faith is held by the loudest love that came. When I had no words to pray, when my faith began to fade, His love was louder than my doubt. Pulled me in when I was out. When my faith was quiet, his love was loud. Shouting truth over every lie that made me bow. When I couldn't speak his name or find the words to pray, his love kept fighting for me anyway. When my faith was quiet, his love was loud. Carried me through valleys, wrapped in heavy clouds. Now I know his grace doesn't need my voice to sing, 'cause his love is louder than anything. Romans 8:26 says the Spirit intercedes for us when we don't know what to pray. When our faith is lost, it's thrust. God's not measuring our volume or our spirit display. He's holding us in weakness when we got nothing to say. I learned that faith isn't always mountain moving declarations. Sometimes it's just showing up despite your hesitations. Sitting in the church when you don't feel like you belong. His love is in that stillness, in that barely holding on. Peter walked on water till his faith began to sink. Yeah, Jesus reached out and caught him in that desperate blink. Didn't scold him for his doubting or his wavering belief. Yeah, just pulled him from the water, gave his struggling faith relief. Now I understand that weak faith is still faith in his eyes. That his love doesn't fluctuate based on how much we vocalize. He's loud when we go quiet, he's strong when we are weak. His love is the foundation even when we cannot have no words to pray. When my faith began to fade, his love was louder than my doubt. Pulled me in when I was out. When my faith was quiet, his love was loud. Shouting truth over every lie that made me bow. When I couldn't speak his name or find the words to pray, his love kept fighting for me anyway. When my faith was quiet, his love was loud. Carried me through valleys, wrapped in heavy clouds. Now I know his grace doesn't need my voice to sing, 'cause his love is louder than prove that he is there. Even whispered faith is covered by his care. So if your faith is quiet right now, don't give up the fight. His love is screaming over you throughout the darkest night. You don't have to perform or put on some display. Just rest in knowing his love is loud even when you cannot pray. Weak faith is still faith when it's placed in a strong God. Your trembling belief is enough, don't think it's a fight. He's not asking for perfection, just your honest broken heart. His love doesn't shout it when your faith can barely start. When my faith was quiet, his love was loud. Shouting truth over every lie that made me bow. When I couldn't speak his name or find the words to pray, his love kept fighting for me anyway. When my faith was quiet, his love was loud. Carried me through valleys, wrapped in heavy clouds. Now I know his grace doesn't need my voice to sing, 'cause his love is loud. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Your quiet faith is still enough. His loud love covers what you can't speak up. When faith goes quiet, his love gets loud. And that's the gospel that makes heaven proud. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1. I wore courage like a mask every day, but underneath I was scared, couldn't say. And Jesus walked into the fear I denied and showed me I don't have to hide. I was terrified but acted brave, kept the fear locked up like a cage. Pretended I was fearless, had it all together, while inside I was breaking under pressure. Fear of failure kept me paralyzed at night. Fear of rejection kept me out of sight. Fear of not being enough, not measuring up. Fear overflowing from an empty cup, but I couldn't let nobody see it. Had to act strong, had to be it. The person everyone expected me to be, while fear was drowning every part of me. Fear of the future, fear of the past, fear that had nothing good ever last. Fear that I'd mess everything up again. Fear that was more than just pretend. But Jesus saw through my disguise, saw the terror hiding in my eyes. He stepped into the space I wouldn't name, and loved me through my fear and shame. I was running from what scared me most, acting like I had it all, like I could boast. But Jesus met me in that hidden place, where fear lived underneath my face. Jesus stepped into the fear I pretended didn't exist, the terror I kept buried, the darkness I dismissed. He didn't wait for me to admit I was afraid. He walked right into my fear and stayed. He brought courage where I only had pretense, brought peace where I had no defense. In the fear that I denied, that I tried to resist, Jesus stepped in and gave me strength to persist. Let me tell you what happens when you face your fear. With Jesus standing right beside you here, it doesn't disappear, but it loses power when you let God in during that hour. I learned admitting fear ain't weakness, it's the first step toward completeness. Cause you can't heal what you won't acknowledge, can't grow without spiritual knowledge. Jesus said, tell me what you're scared of, and I listed every fear I was made of. Fear of loss, fear of pain, fear of being alone, fear that I'd never find my way back home. And he didn't judge me for my fright, he just held me closer, held me tight. Said I got you, you can let it go. Said my perfect love will cast out every shadow. Now I'm learning to be honest about my fear, to bring it to the light, to keep Jesus near. Cause courage isn't the absence of being scared, it's trusting God when you're unprepared. I was running from what scared me most, acting like I had it all under control. But Jesus met me in that hidden place, replaced my fear with his amazing grace. Jesus stepped into the fear I pretended didn't exist, the terror I kept buried, the darkness I dismissed. He didn't wait for me to admit I was afraid. He walked right into my fear and stayed. Brought courage where I only had pretense, brought peace where I had no defense. In the fear that I denied, that I tried to resist, Jesus stepped in and gave me strength to persist. Fear tries to tell you that you're all alone, that you have to fight every battle on your own. But Jesus steps in and breaks that lie, says I'm with you, you will never die. To every person hiding their fear tonight, pretending everything's alright, Jesus sees you, knows your terror, and he's the answer to every error. Jesus stepped into the fear I pretended didn't exist, the terror I kept hidden, the darkness I tried to dismiss. He didn't wait for me to find courage first, he walked into my fear and broke the curse. He brought courage that I never had, brought peace when everything was bad. In the fear that I denied, tried so hard to resist, Jesus stepped in, now I'm free from this. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you, Psalm 53. You don't have to pretend anymore, you can bring your fear right to his door. Jesus specializes in stepping into what we hide, and replacing our fear with courage deep inside. The fear you won't acknowledge has no power to hold. When you bring it to Jesus and let the truth be told, he'll step into every fear you try to dismiss, and fill you with a courage you can't resist. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Philippians 4:6. When my thoughts were racing, couldn't find a break, mind spiraling out of control, about to break, Jesus sat beside me, didn't rush away. While my mind tried to run, he chose to stay. My mind was racing 1,000 miles an hour, anxiety gripping me with his power. Thought jumping from worry to fear, couldn't catch my breath, couldn't think clear. Every thought led to 10 more thoughts. My brain was tied up in anxious nights. What if this, what if that, what if everything fails? My mind was a storm without any sails. Couldn't sit still, couldn't calm down. Felt like I was gonna drown in the chaos of my racing mind. Couldn't find peace, couldn't find any rest from the constant mental fight. Couldn't sleep through the night, thoughts attacking from every side. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, but Jesus sat down right next to me. Didn't try to fix it immediately, just said I'm here, I'm not leaving. While my mind was barely believing, when my thoughts were spinning out of control and anxiety was taking its toll, Jesus didn't abandon me. He sat with me patiently. He sat with me while my mind tried to run away. While thoughts were racing, he chose to stay. Didn't rush me, didn't tell me to calm down quick. Just sat beside me when my mind was sick. He brought peace to the chaos in my head. His presence spoke when nothing else could be said. While my mind tried to escape, tried to flee, Jesus sat with me, just him and me, yeah. Let me tell you what it means when God sits with you. In your mental chaos and your breakthrough, he doesn't demand that you snap out of it. He just remains present through every bit of the anxiety that's gripping your chest, the thoughts that won't give you rest, the racing mind that won't slow down, the panic that makes you wanna drown. He whispered peace, be still to my mind, like he did to the storm that one time. And slowly, gradually I felt the calm. His presence was like a healing balm. He taught me to take thoughts captive, to make them obedient, not reactive, to bring every anxious thought to him before the chaos could begin. Yeah. Now when my mind starts to race, I remember his patient face, how he sat with me when I couldn't be still, how he loved me through my mental ill. When my thoughts were spinning out of control, when anxiety was taking its toll, Jesus didn't abandon me. He sat with me faithfully. He sat with me while my mind tried to run away. While thoughts were racing, he chose to stay. Didn't rush me, didn't tell me to just pray harder. Just sat beside me when my mind was dark. He brought peace to the chaos in my head. His presence spoke when nothing else could be said. While my mind tried to escape, tried to flee, Jesus sat with me, anchoring me. To everyone whose mind won't slow down, whose thoughts are spinning around and around, Jesus sees you, he understands. He's reaching out his steady hands. You're not crazy, you're not alone. He's with you in this mental zone. He's the peace that calms the storm. He's the presence that he sat with me while my mind tried to run away. While anxiety tried to steal my day. Didn't give up when I couldn't calm down, just kept his presence around. He brought peace like I've never known. His stillness reaching to my mental throne. While my mind tried to escape to anywhere, Jesus sat with me, showed me he cares. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Isaiah 23. When your mind is racing and you can't slow down, when anxiety feels like you're gonna drown, remember Jesus is with you right there. In the chaos, he's present and he cares. You don't have to fight this battle alone. He's with you, he's never gone. Even when your mind try to run away, Jesus sit with you and he will stay. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 44:7-3. I buried pain so deep I thought nobody would find it, but Jesus dug through layers with mercy, love behind it. The hurt I hid away, locked up tight, he brought to the surface and made it right. I had pain buried deep like a grave. Thought if I hit it I'd be saved from having to feel what I went through, facing all the trauma that I knew. I pushed it down every time it tried to rise. Buried it deeper with more lies. Told myself I was over and moved on, but the hurt was there from dusk to dawn. Childhood wounds I never addressed, heartbreak that I never confessed, betrayal that I tried to forget, rejection that I couldn't reset. I built walls around the pain inside, created a place we could hide. Thought if I didn't look at it, it would disappear. Bit by bit, but buried hurt doesn't heal. It just festers, becomes more real. It poisons everything you touch until the pain becomes too much. Then Jesus came with gentle hands, said, I understand your plans to hide the hurt, to bury deep. But I wanna heal what makes you weep. I didn't wanna face what I'd hidden, but Jesus made the healing mission with mercy as his tool. He dug out what made me cool. The hurt I buried deep, he dug out with mercy. Didn't rush the process, wasn't in a hurry. Gently uncovered every painful memory, and replaced it with his love so tenderly. He excavated wounds I thought were gone, brought them to light like the dawn. And with mercy in his hands, he healed what I couldn't understand. Let me tell you what healing really looks like. When Jesus digs out pain in the night, it's not easy, it hurts to feel again, but it's better than carrying that burden within. He showed me that buried pain controls you, more than pain that's acknowledged and brought to truth. That what you hide in darkness grows, but what you bring to light, mercy knows. He didn't shame me for the hurt I carry, or judge me for the pain I'd bury. He just said, let's work through this together. I'm here to make you better forever. Step by step, layer by layer. He answered every silent prayer, brought up memories I suppressed, so he could give my spirit rest. Now I'm learning that healing is a process, not a one-time thing, it's progress. And Jesus walks with me through every stage, turning my trauma into a new page. I didn't wanna face what I'd hidden, but Jesus made the healing his mission with mercy as his tool. He dug out what kept my heart cool. The hurt I buried deep, he dug out with mercy. Didn't rush the process, moved so carefully. Gently uncovered every painful memory, and replaced it with his love so beautifully. He excavated wounds I thought were gone, brought them to light like the dawn. And with mercy in his hands, he healed what I didn't understand. To everyone carrying buried pain tonight, know that Jesus wants to bring it to light. Not to shame you, but to heal. Not to judge, but to reveal his mercy for your wounded soul. His power to make you whole. You don't have to dig alone. Let Jesus excavate what's unknown. The hurt I buried deep, he dug out with mercy. Every wound, every scar, he addressed so perfectly. Gently uncover what I tried to hide from me, and poured his healing love so gracefully. He excavated pain I thought would stay buried, brought him to surface while my hope he carried. And with mercy in his hands divine, he healed my heart and made it shine.
He has sent me to bind up the broken-hearted, to comfort all who mourn. Isaiah 61. If you've buried hurt deep inside, don't be afraid to let Jesus guide you to healing, to freedom, to peace. He'll dig out the pain and bring release. With mercy as his only tool, he'll make your broken spirit whole. The hurt you buried doesn't have to stay. Jesus can heal it today.
Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old is gone, the new is here. 2 Corinthians 5:17.
I was exhausted being who I become. Tired of the person looking back at me. Then Jesus met me there, said I'm not done. I see who you really are, who you're meant to be. I was sick of myself, tired of my own reflection. Kept making the same mistakes in the same direction. Fed up with my patterns, my habits, my ways. Living the same destructive cycle day after day. I promised myself that tomorrow I'd change, but tomorrow came and I stayed the same. Tired of disappointing myself again. Tired of being my own worst friend. I hated who I become over the years. The compromises I made, the truth I feared. The person in the mirror wasn't who I wanted to be, but I couldn't break free, couldn't find a key. Exhausted from pretending, from wearing a mask, from living a life I knew wouldn't last, from being someone I didn't respect, from carrying shame I couldn't reject. And Jesus showed up in that dark place, didn't wait for me to clean up my space. He met me right there in the mess I made, in the person I was tired of. He stayed. I was done with who I was, exhausted from the fight, but Jesus met me in that moment and offered me new life. Jesus met me in the person I was tired of being, when I was sick of myself and barely believing. He didn't demand I change before he came near. He met me in my exhaustion, in my fear. He saw past the person I'd become, saw the person I was meant to be, the kingdom's son. And he said, I'll help you become new. Starting right now, I'm transforming you. Let me tell you what transformation looks like. When Jesus changes you overnight, not in appearance but in your core. He makes you someone you weren't before. He broke the cycles I couldn't break, changed the patterns for his name's sake. Gave me strength to choose different, power to be someone magnificent. Not by my effort but by his grace. He renovated my entire space, took the person I was exhausted by and gave me wings so I could fly. Now when I look in the mirror I see someone who's being set free. Not perfect but progressing daily, growing in him more faithfully. I'm not the same person I used to be. Jesus broke those chains, set me free from being tired of my own existence, to living with divine persistence. I was done with who I was, exhausted from the fight, but Jesus met me in that moment and gave me brand new life. Jesus met me in the person I was tired of being, when I was sick of myself and barely believing. He didn't demand I change before he showed up here. He met me in my exhaustion, dried every tear. He saw past the person I'd become, saw the person I was meant to be, his chosen one. And he said, I'll help you start brand new. Starting right now, I'm making all things new in you. Seeing everyone tired of who they become, exhausted from running, nowhere to run. Jesus meets you right where you stand, reaches out his transforming hand. You don't have to stay who you are, his power can reach you near or far. The person you're tired of being can become who he's been seeing. And the person I was tired of being, when I was done with myself, when I stopped fleeing. He didn't wait for me to change on my own. He made me broken and made me known. He saw past the failure I'd become, saw his masterpiece, saw his son, and he said, watch me make you new. I specialize in transforming people like you. Steadfast spirit within me. Psalm 51:10. If you're tired of who you've become, know that your transformation has begun. Jesus meets you in your exhaustion and offers complete renovation. You don't have to be that person anymore. He's opened up a brand new door. The old is gone, the new has come. Jesus makes you a new creation, his beloved one.
Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, Psalm 23:4.
There was a night they thought I wouldn't make it through, but Jesus walked into that room before death could too. When everyone expected me to go, he said, not yet, I got more to show. I remember that night, darkest I ever faced, when death was knocking, and I could taste the fear in the air, the worry in their eyes. No one thought I'd see the sunrise. The doctors shook their heads, said it's in God's hands. My family prayed hard, didn't understand how I could survive what I was going through. But Jesus walked in and said, I'm not through with you. I was slipping away, felt myself letting go, everything getting dim, moving slow. Could hear voices fading in the distance, but Jesus showed up with divine persistence. He walked into that room before death could arrive, said you're gonna live, you're gonna survive. I got plans for you, work yet to do, so I'm keeping you here, bringing you through. When medical science said there's nothing more, when everyone gathered around to pray and implore, Jesus stepped in with supernatural power and carried me through that darkest hour. They didn't expect me to see morning light, thought that was my final night, but Jesus had other plans for me. He walked in first and set me free. I survived the night, no one expected me to live. Jesus walked into the room with life to give. When death was waiting at my door, he said, not this one, I got more in store. He walked in first before anyone could see. There's space for life over my destiny. I'm living proof that he still heals, that his power over death is real. Let me testify about the God who saves, who pulls people back from their graves, who speaks life when death speaks loud, who shows his power to the doubting crowd. I shouldn't be here by natural means, but God intervened in ways unseen. His hand was on me when I couldn't feel, his voice was speaking when I couldn't hear. Now I'm walking in extended time, living in mercy, living in the divine protection of a God who said not yet, who paid a debt I can never offset. Every breath I take is borrowed grace. Every morning I wake, I see his face, reminding me I'm here for a reason, living in a supernatural season. So I won't waste this second chance, won't take for granted this life enhanced by the mercy of a God who intervenes, who shows up in the most desperate scenes. They didn't expect me to see morning light, thought that was my final night, but Jesus had other plans for me. He walked in first and carried victory. I survived the night, no one expected me to live. Jesus walked into the room with life to give. When death was waiting at my door, he said, not this one, I got more in store. He walked in first before anyone could see, spoke life over my destiny. I'm living proof that he's still here, that his power over death is real. To everyone in their darkest hour tonight, fighting for their life with all their might, Jesus walks into the room before death can. He's got you in the palm of his hand. He's the God who raises the dead, who speaks life over what they said was impossible, was too far gone. He's the God who makes survivors. I survived the night, no one expected me to live. Jesus walked into the room, had so much to give. When death thought it had won the war, he said, nah, my child, I got so much more. He walked in first with healing in his wings, made me a testimony of the miracles he brings. I'm living proof that he's still on the throne, that his power over death is fully known. I will not die but live, and will proclaim what the Lord has done. If you're facing your darkest night right now, know that Jesus is there somehow. He walks into the room before death arrives. He's the reason miracles survive. I'm here to tell you he still saves, he still delivers from the grave. My survival is his testimony, his power, his glory.
His victory shown in me.
The Lord will sustain him on his sick bed. You will restore him from his bed of illness. Psalm 41:3. The prognosis said impossible, but heaven said, watch this. They counted me out. He stayed until I stood.
Flat on my back, doctor shaking head with doubt. Whisper conversation about outcomes, what they talking about. Statistical survival rates, permanent damage done. But they said I would never recover. Jesus stood beside my bed till I won. The battle they declared was lost before it even began. Mark 5:36 said, don't be afraid, only believe that's the plan. When Jairus' daughter was reported dead, Jesus said she's just asleep. They said I would never recover. Jesus stood beside my bed, promises to keep through the nights of pain and uncertainty. Through the days, there's no progress shown. When medical charts confirmed their fears, I wasn't fighting alone. Isaiah 53:5 said, by his stripes we are healed. That's truth, I'm holding tight. They said I would never recover. Jesus stood beside my bed day and night. Not as a distant deity, but as present company there, monitoring every vital sign with supernatural care that goes beyond what medicine can measure or explain. They said I would never recover. Jesus stood beside my bed through the pain. When hope was fading fast, and odds were stacked against, you never left my side. Your presence so immense. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed. Held vigil through the darkness, wouldn't leave until I rise. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed, defying what the experts theorize. I'm walking, I'm standing, I'm living proof. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed with truth. That his power supersedes medical decree. Whoa. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed till I was free. Acts 3:6, Peter said, silver and gold I don't possess, but what I have I give you. In Jesus' name rise and be blessed. The lame man at the gate expected coins, but got restoration instead. They said I would never recover. Jesus stood beside my bed, I'm not dead. The possibility, the miracle, the supernatural intervention divine. Jeremiah 32:27 answers anything too hard for me. The answers decline to accept limitations that contradict the sovereign power and will. They said I would never recover. Jesus stood beside my bed, standing still, watching, waiting, working in ways invisible to natural sight. 2 Kings 6, when Elisha prayed, opened his eyes to see the fight. Was fixed, surrounded by horses and chariots of fire on our side. They said I would never recover. Jesus stood beside my bed, never lied about his ability here to restore, to make whole again what man declares impossible, what science can't explain. It's territory where God's glory gets revealed most bright. They said I would never recover. Jesus stood beside my bed, made it right. When hope was fading fast and odds were stacked against, you never left my side. Your presence so immense. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed. Held vigil through the darkness, wouldn't leave until I rise. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed, defying what the experts theorize. I'm walking, I'm standing, I'm living proof. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed with truth. That his power supersedes medical decree. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed till I was free. Psalm 32 says I cried to you, and you healed me, brought me up. They said I would never recover, but you filled my cup with life renewed. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed, never gave up, never walked away. No, 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 no. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed every day until I rose, until I could stand and say, this is miracle territory, this is sovereign grace. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed face to face with impossibility and made it bow. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed and how I'm standing this testament to power beyond what man can do. Yeah. They said I would never recover, but Jesus stood beside my bed and pulled me through.
Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. 2 Corinthians 5:17. The gavel fell. They said it was over, but heaven said it was just beginning. New life after the verdict. Standing before the judge, heard he is read out loud.
Future disappearing as the sentence echo through the crowd. Guilty verdict, case closed. Dreams locked behind steel doors, but my life ended in court. Jesus started a new one, opened different doors. Not denying consequences, not avoiding what I earned. But Romans 8:28 said God works all things for good, that's what I learned. Behind the walls where society said my story ends, my life ended in court. Jesus started a new one, he transcends his human limitations on redemption, on second chances, on grace. Acts now tells of Saul persecuting church, murderous intent on his face. But Jesus met him on Damascus Road, changed his name to Paul. My life ended in court. Jesus started a new one, heard my call for mercy, for purpose, for meaning beyond the mistakes. He specializes in resurrection, giving what transformation takes. Not erasing past, but redeeming it for future glory. Show my life ended in court. Jesus started a new one, seeds were sown. When the world wrote me off, you wrote me in. When they said I was finished, you helped me begin. Life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. Life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. My life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. The sentence didn't have the final say. My life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. Turn my night into day. I'm not defined by my worst moment, not confined by my past mistakes. My life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. Whatever it takes to demonstrate his redemptive power, his transforming grace. My life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. Gave me a new place. Revelation 21:5 declare, behold, I make all things new. Yeah. Not repair the old, but create from scratch, that's what he'll do. Yeah. My life ended in court. Jesus started a new one, clean slate. Not based on my merit, but on his love that won't abate. Colossians 1:13 says he delivered us from darkness domain, transferred us into his kingdom, broke every chain. My life ended in court. Jesus started a new one that day. When I surrendered to him, let him have his way. With my future, with my story, with the chapters yet unwritten. Isaiah 43:18 says, forget the former things, don't be smitten with the past that holds you captive. God's doing something new. My life ended in court. Jesus started a new one, broke through the ceiling of expectation, the limits of human thought, about who deserves redemption, who can be taught a different way of living, transformed from inside out. My life ended in court. Jesus started a new one without doubt. When the world wrote me off, you wrote me in. When they said I was finished, you helped me begin. Life ended in court. Jesus started a new one. Life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. My life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. The sentence didn't have the final say. My life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. Turn my night into day. I'm not defined by my worst moment, not confined by my past mistake. My life ended in court, but Jesus started a new. Whatever it takes to demonstrate his redemptive power, his transforming grace. My life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. Gave me a new place. Ezekiel 36. A new heart, a new spirit within.
Life ended in court.
But Jesus helped me begin again.
Jesus started a new one.
My life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. Better than anything in court.
Jesus started a new one.
Opened every door
Life ended every door.
that the enemy said was closed forever, that society said would never open wide.
Jesus started a new one.
My life ended in court.
Jesus started a new
One
one.
by my side. Yeah.
Life ended every door.
Life ended in court. My life ended in court. Life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. Life ended in court, but Jesus started a new one. Life ended in court. Life ended in court. My life ended in court by human standards and decree. But Jesus started a new one, proving his authority over every verdict, every sentence, every judgment passed. He's the God of new beginnings. My redemption's vast. Not minimizing what I did, the pain that I caused, but maximizing what God's grace does without pause. In transforming hearts and lives and making all things new. My life ended in court. Jesus started a new one, he'll do it for you too. Guilty, but redeemed. Sentenced, but free. Ended, but begun. Jesus started a new one. My victory's won.
He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 14:7-3. I stopped feeling it, called it living, but he knew better. This was surviving, not thriving.
I woke up with anxiety every morning, thought that's how life goes. Carry tension in my shoulders, numbness in my soul. Told myself this is just adulthood, this is how it has to be. But it healed the pain I learned to call normal, finally set me free from accepting as reality what was actually trauma's residue. Isaiah 53:5 says by his wounds we are healed, that includes you. And a chronic ache, you normalize a constant state of stress. He healed the pain I learned to call normal, nothing more, nothing less. See, I've been hurting for so long, I forgot what hope felt like. Adapted to dysfunction, caught it just getting through the night. Luke 13, a woman bent over 18 years, couldn't stand straight. He healed the pain I learned to call normal. It's not too late for restoration of what you thought was permanently your condition. For breakthrough in areas where you'd accept the opposition of half life, half joy, half peace, as good as it could get. He healed the pain I learned to call normal, pay my healing debt. I called it normal, you called it bondage, I called it living. You called it damage that needs repair. He healed the pain I learned to call normal. Show me I was meant for more. He healed the pain I learned to call normal. Opened up a different door to wholeness I've forgotten, the freedom I never known. He healed the pain I learned to call normal. Now I'm coming home to who I was created to be.
Jeremiah 30:17 says, I will restore health to you and heal your wounds, declares the Lord, that's what he'll do. Heal the pain I learned to call normal, redefine my baseline of what acceptable feels like. Where I draw the line between settling and thriving, between existing and truly alive. Matthew 9:12, Jesus said the sick need a physician to survive. But first you gotta recognize that you're sick, that normal isn't well. He healed the pain I learned to call normal, broke the spell
of complacency and resignation of this is just how things are. Revelation 21:4 says he'll wipe every tear, heal every scar. No more death in mourning, crying, the pain, the old order's gone. He healed the pain I learned to call normal, brought me to the dawn of a new day, new way of living in his intended design. Not just surviving trauma, but actually thriving in the vine. John 15 describes connected to the source of abundant life. He healed the pain I learned to call normal, cut through like a knife. I called it normal, you called it bondage, I called it living. You called it damage that needs repair. He healed the pain I learned to call normal. Show me I was meant for more. He healed the pain I learned to call normal. Opened up a different door to wholeness I've forgotten, the freedom I never known. He healed the pain I learned to call normal. Now I'm coming home to who I was created to be. He healed the pain I learned to call normal.
3 John 1:2 says, I pray you prosper and be in health even as your soul prospers. He healed the pain, show me the difference between normal and healed. That's the real deliverance.
He healed the pain I learned to call normal. Now I know what peace feels like. He the man I learned to call normal. Living in the light, I don't have to settle anymore for less than his design. For live fully, to breathe deeply, to feel joy without the way. He healed the pain I learned to call normal. It's never too late. So if you're reading this and something in you resonates with my words, if you've been carrying pain so long you don't recognize it hurts anymore, you just accepted this is how existence feels. Know that Jesus wants to show you that your normal needs to heal. What you've adapted to, what you've learned to live with daily, what you think is your life but is actually trauma's residue, plainly affecting how you function, how you relate, how you breathe. He healed the pain I learned to call normal, help me to believe that wholeness is available, the peace is actually possible, that joy isn't just a concept but experientially touchable when we allow him to address what we've been ignoring for years. He healed the pain I learned to call normal, dried all my tears and replaced them with hope, with healing, with a future bright. He healed the pain I learned to call normal.
normal. Wasn't healthy, acceptable, wasn't whole. My baseline was broken. He healed my soul.
The Lord does not see as man sees. For man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. I avoided mirrors, internal and external, but he looked directly at who I was and loved me anyway.
I was running from reflection,
From honesty about my flaws, building walls of distraction, creating pause after pause between me and self-awareness. Couldn't face the person I become, but Jesus loved the version of me I didn't want to meet. With grace, unconditional and unearned, looking past my self-deception. 1 Corinthians 13 defines love, that's his affection. Patient, kind, not self-seeking, keeps no record of wrongs. Jesus loved the version of me I didn't want to meet. Wrote my songs of redemption before I could even hum the tune myself. Saw potential in the broken pieces sitting on the shelf of my shattered self-image, my fragmented identity. Jesus loved the version of me I didn't want to meet. Set me free from the prison of pretending, from avoiding what was true about my pain, my past, my patterns I've been running through. Psalm after 9 says he searched me, knew me, saw me completely. Jesus loved the version of me I didn't want to meet, treated me sweetly. I was hiding from myself, couldn't look inside, but you saw all of me, and you never left my side. Jesus loved the version of me I didn't want to meet, the broken, the scared, the deeply flawed. Jesus loved the version of me I didn't want to meet. When I was running from God, he embraced what I rejected, he held what I denied. Jesus loved the version of me I didn't want to meet. Now I don't have to hide from who I really am inside. Jesus loved the version of me I didn't want to meet, and that changed everything. John chapter 4, the Samaritan woman at the well tried to deflect when Jesus brought up her 5 husbands, tried to redirect the conversation away from her reality of pain. But Jesus loved a version of her she didn't want to meet. Broke the chain of avoidance and denial, brought truth into the light, not the shame but to liberate, to make everything right. He does the same with us today when we're running from our truth. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet since my youth. When trauma started shaping how I saw myself and cope, Romans 5:8 says while we were still sinners, Christ died as hope for the parts of us we're most ashamed and most afraid to see. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet. Help me be honest about my struggles, authentic about my state. 2 Corinthians 12, and that says his grace is sufficient, never too late to face what we've been fleeing, to meet who we become. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet, made me one. I was hiding from myself, couldn't look inside, but you saw all of me, and you never left my side. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet, the broken, the scared, the deeply flawed. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet. When I was running from God, he embraced what I rejected, he held what I denied. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet. Now I don't have to hide from who I really am inside. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet. Ephesians 2:10 says I'm his workmanship, created in Christ for good works. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet, even the hearse. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet. Now I'm learning to love myself. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet. No longer on the shelf, hiding from my own reflection, running from my truth. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet. Gave me living proof that I'm worthy of love, exactly as I am. Jesus loved a version of me. If you're avoiding looking inward, scared of what you'll find, if you've been running from yourself for years, peace of mind seems impossible because you know it's really there inside. Know that Jesus loved a version of you that you're trying to hide from everyone, including yourself. He's not afraid to see the real you beneath performance, beneath anxiety. He looks without the love at what you're most ashamed to be. Jesus loved a version of me I didn't want to meet. Now I'm free to be authentic, to be honest, to be wholly known. And holy love, that's grace, that's how his love is shown. Not to the perfect version, but the real one hiding in the dark. Jesus loved the version of me I didn't want to meet, left his mark on my soul, on my story, on my journey toward a life of self-acceptance, rooted in his love, making everything right. Rejected but accepted, avoided but embraced, hidden but seen. Jesus loved the real me and gave me grace.
My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. I collapsed under the weight, then felt something holding me up. not my will.
His grace. Yeah. I was standing on my own 2 feet until they buckled underneath the pressure of the load I carried. Couldn't even breathe, thought I was the foundation holding everything in place. But when my strength broke, His grace became my backbone. Took that space where I used to rely on myself, on willpower and grit alone. Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord, don't lean on what you know. Through your own understanding, in all your ways submit to Him. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone, not a whim, but a permanent support system. Structural integrity divine, replacing what was crumbling with something that would never decline or deteriorate with age, with use, with pressure applied. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone. He supplied what I couldn't manufacture, what effort couldn't produce anymore. Isaiah 40:31 says, those who hope in the Lord will soar on wings like eagles, running, not grow weary, walk without faint. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone, made me the same. I was crumbling from within, couldn't hold myself right then. Your grace became the structure that sustained me through the night. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone, holding me when I would fall. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone, answering my desperate call. I'm standing not because I'm able, but because His grace sustains. When my strength broke, His grace became my back. Broke all my chains, now I walk in His power, not my own failing might. When my strength broke, His grace became my back. 4:13 declares I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me, not in myself, but through His sacrifice. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone. Took control of areas where I was failing, trying to save my own soul. Through performance and through effort that was never meant to be. Hey, the source of my stability, my true identity. Ephesians 2:8 reminds me it's by grace through faith I'm saved. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone, pathway paved to freedom from the burden of self-sufficiency's lie that says I have to carry everything until the day I die. But Jesus said, take my yoke upon you, Matthew 11 proclaims. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone, changed the game. From striving to abiding, from working to resting in His finished work on Calvary, where my new life could begin. Not when I got strong again, but when I stayed weak and found His grace became my backbone, kept me off the ground. I was crumbling from within, couldn't hold myself right then. Your grace became the structure that sustained me through the night. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone, holding me when I would fall. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone, answering my desperate call. I'm standing not because I'm able, but because His grace sustains. When my strength broke, His grace became my back. Broke all my chains, now I walk in His power, not my own failing might. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone.
Psalm 18 declares the Lord is my rock, my fortress and deliverer, my strength. When my strength broke, His grace went to any length to hold me up.
When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone. Now I'm standing tall again. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone. He took away the pain of trying to be strong enough alone, of carrying more than I could bear. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone. So much there, supporting, sustaining, holding me close. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone. So when you reach the end of your capacity, your strength, your will, when everything you've been relying on is finally broken still, no, that's not the end, but the beginning of discovering grace as the backbone that will hold you, the foundation, the base on which real life is built, not striving but resting in His might. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone, brought me to the light of understanding that I never had to carry it alone. His grace was always there to be the marrow in my bones, the structure of my standing, the reason I don't fall. When my strength broke, His grace became my backbone. Through it all, broken but upheld, weak but standing, collapsed, supported. His grace became my backbone, forever landing on solid ground.